Now, this is breaking news that's coming in from the national capital at this point. There is no end, it seems, to speeding vehicle menace in Delhi. Speeding vehicle, this time mows down a food delivery agent. This is a fatal incident that's come to light in Delhi's Subhash Nagar area, where an eyewitness comes out to report speeding vehicle driver was drunk. The victim was then rushed to the hospital, declared brought dead. Another fatal accident in the national capital is what we are learning of. Remember, there have been several incidents of the similar kind that's taken place just in the last 1 week. One major one being the Dwarka incident, where there was a young boy who lost his life due to the speeding car menace. There was a young child, in fact, who lost her life just 2 days back on, in fact, February 17th. When there was a particular car that had hit an e-rickshaw. And now we are learning of another such incident wherein the speeding vehicle rammed down a Zomato delivery man in Delhi's Subhash Nagar area. And according to eyewitnesses, the driver of the offending vehicle was inebriated. The victim of the accident was taken to the hospital where he was declared brought dead. This is indeed very concerning at this point of time. One needs to understand the very crux of the problem. Is it a lawlessness that we are looking at in the national capital, or are there reasons? Is there a real problem with the mindset with people where they are not taking such incidents seriously, where they're not taking reckless driving or driving under the influence of substance and the laws that pertain to it in our country seriously at this point? Because such incidents have been recurring in the national capital. We're taking a look at how innocent people, young people are just losing their lives from such incidents. And you can just look at the condition of that very car, the way this accident took place, the entirety of the front portion of that car having been crushed, which only brings to light the impact with which this particular crash took place, wherein this car hit this Zomato delivery agent's motorcycle, that is. So yes, it is very concerning, viewers, in terms of incidents that are taking place around the national capital. Anshul Singh, who has in fact been reporting on these incidents since day one, is joining us on the broadcast. Anshul, very good morning to you. Yet again, we are looking at another incident, and we were just talking about the previous incident yesterday itself, where that young child, 6-year-old child, had lost her life. Today, there's a delivery agent who's lost his life. This cannot be the situation in the national capital when we speak of the blatant lawlessness when it comes to reckless driving.
Well, definitely, this is another shocking incident that has come to the fore. In fact, this morning at approximately 4:30 a.m., when the Zomato delivery guy was on his duty, he was trying to earn that a small amount of money so that he could survive out here in the national capital. It was at that point that a person who was driving this vehicle, who was in an inebriated state, he was drunk, is what eyewitnesses have claimed, and he was moving his vehicle at a very, very high speed, and it is at that very point that this entire accident happened. And in fact, the victim was dragged for a few meters as well, before which the car came to an halt, and then a few bystanders and eyewitnesses who were present over there, they rushed to the spot and they tried to make sure that somewhere or the other the life of the Zomato delivery guy could be saved. But that is something that was not in their hands. He was taken to Deendayal Upadhyaya Hospital out here in West Delhi itself, where he was declared brought dead. The said accused, or the driver of the offending vehicle, has been taken into custody by the Delhi police. His initial medical is being done to figure out as to how much alcohol or alcohol content was actually present in his blood. And Delhi police has also seized the offending vehicle at this point. Apart from this, the CCTV from that area is something that the Delhi police has also taken into custody. But as you rightly mentioned, Priya, that this is something that has been a repetitive event over the last month and a half, and definitely there has been a constant rise in the number of fatal accidents that have happened across districts out here in the national capital. Yet there is no clear or long-time solution that we are seeing being worked upon at this point. Yes, Delhi police claims that they are trying to make sure that situation gets in control. At the earliest, for that, they are trying to go ahead and do workshops. They are trying to identify the blind spots or the spots at which are accident prone. But it seems like that the pace at which this work is happening definitely that is not enough, and definitely there is a lot that needs to be done to make sure that people who are traveling on the roads of Delhi, they can actually travel safely.
Anshul, that at this point of time, traveling safely in the national capital seems to be quite a challenge, because all these victims who have in fact lost their lives in such accidents, they don't go out on the roads thinking of, today we might have a car being driven by such a reckless driver who will not give much attention to road safety. And that seems to be the biggest problem at this point. I would want you to give us a little more details about this person who was behind the wheel in this very car, who was driving that car and was in that inebriated state. What we are learning at this point is that he has been taken into custody. If you could just take us through the legal procedures that he's currently facing after this very accident.
Well, yes, eyewitnesses are claiming at this point that the said person was actually drunk and he was not able to figure out the exact road through which he should go as well. But even after that, he was driving his vehicle at a very, very high speed. It was near a red light where this entire incident happened, and suddenly the driver of the offending vehicle came and hit the Zomato delivery guy from behind and dragged him for a few meters. Post that as well, as locals gathered over there, a few other Zomato delivery boys who were in and around, they reached over there. They initially tried to make sure that all of them are safe, and then once the police was called, the driver of the offending vehicle was taken into custody, and at this point in time he has been taken for a medical checkup, just to figure out as to initially what are the injuries that he might have also sustained, and apart from that, if at all he was drunk, and if he was drunk, how much of an alcohol was actually present in his blood, how much of an alcohol content was actually present in his blood is something that the Delhi police is checking at this point in time. Apart from that, the driver will now officially be arrested in the next few minutes, is what Delhi police sources are telling us, because this is a fatal accident that has happened. There are severe criminal sections that would be imposed against him. But yet again, the manner in which this incident has happened definitely raises a lot of questions on the road safety conditions out here in the national capital, and a larger question that still lingers around as to what can be done out here in the national capital, through which somewhere or the other traveling on the streets of the national capital could actually be safe.
Very true. Anshul, do stay with us.